Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I am Shakira Bibi, lecturer at Department of Pakistan and Islamic Studies, Kohat University of Science and Technology, Kohat. And I am your course instructor for the course of Introduction to Logic, having course code PHI 101. So this is our lecture number 9 and our first recorded lecture. In today's lecture I will be talking about types of argument. Students, as you know, in the previous lecture we have discussed about what is argument. So in today's lecture I will be talking about what types of argument. So the discussion agenda of our today's lecture is what are the types of argument. So there are two types of argument, deductive kinds of argument and inductive kinds of arguments. First we will discuss about what are deductive kinds of argument and what are inductive kinds of argument, and then we will going to discuss about what are the differences between deductive and inductive arguments. So depending upon the kinds of argument, there are different types of logic that we require. Mainly we will be looking on the differences between deductive and inductive arguments. So we will like to learn what are deductive arguments and what are inductive arguments. Where they do differ by contrast, sometimes the identification becomes easier. And then we will talk about what are the different criteria that we require in order to address these differences that exist in the arguments. Different types of argument we have. What arguments are that? They are certain set of claims. Then that can be special characteristics of those arguments which make them very different from each other. So we have deductive kinds of argument and inductive kinds of argument. First we will going to discuss about what are deductive kinds of argument. So deductive argument, what are they and how do we define them and so on. So according to Aristotle, deductive reasoning is a method of reasoning by which you start with a premise and then you go to another premise and these premises lead you to a conclusion. So according to Aristotle, deductive argument consists of three propositions, two premises and a conclusion. So the conclusion is necessarily drawn from the premises. So according to Aristotle, the premises of a deductive argument provide support to its conclusion. In deductive arguments, the conclusion follows with necessity from the premises. So by nature, their premises are supposed to provide conclusive support to the conclusion. So deductive argument, the premise is supposed to provide conclusive support. So the main theme to remember is that our expectation is completely different from deductive arguments because their premises will provide conclusive support for their conclusion. Means every premise supposed to provide support to the conclusion. That is what their role is in argument. So conclusive means what? Conclusive means absolute certain. So that there is no room for doubt. The premises are such they will necessitate the truth of the conclusion. That is the expectation from deductive argument. So this reason why it is said that the truth of the conclusion is supposed to be guaranteed by the truth of the premises. When the premises of the deductive arguments fail to do so or fails to do that, it makes the deductive argument bad deductive argument. Means if the premises of a deductive arguments fail to provide conclusive support to its conclusion, these arguments are bad deductive arguments. So they are not a good or sound argument. They are a bad deductive argument or unsound deductive argument. So what that does happen when the premises of a deductive argument fail to do that, it makes deductive argument bad deductive argument. So next we have deductive arguments move from general laws to particular fact. In this argument moves from general law, we draw the conclusion on the basis of general law and we draw a particular conclusion. For example, this argument or deductive argument is also called top down approach. Means we move from top to bottom. So we move from general laws to particular fact. We draw conclusion on the basis of general law. So due to these arguments are called these arguments are also called top down approach. So we have example of a deductive argument, example of a good deductive argument. All men are mortal, this is premise 1. Aristotle is a man, premise 2, and therefore Aristotle is mortal, this is conclusion. So according to Aristotle, we have in deductive argument we have 3 proposition. So 2 premises and a conclusion. So we have premise 1 is a we move from general law to particular fact. So in this argument the conclusion conclusively push the conclusion at. So the truth of the first premise and the truth of the second premise together conclusively push the conclusion at, or the truth of the first premise and the truth of the second premise together conclusively make this conclusion true. So you see the way the premises sought conclusively push the conclusion at. If the premises of a deductive arguments are true, it is impossible its conclusion is false. So it is if both the premises are true, the conclusion must be true. So this is the example of a good deductive argument. So this is example of a simple valid deductive argument because the conclusion is necessarily drawn from the premises. So this is called a valid deductive argument. So this is the mark of a good deductive argument because the goodness is come from the fact that the premises have done their job. The job was to provide certainty for the conclusion. So if you understood that, then let me walk you to inductive arguments. So what are inductive arguments and how do we define them and so on. So according to Sir Francis Bacon, 17th century English philosopher, said that the way we arrive at truth is to make repeated observation and then out of those observations we journalize these repeatedly observed phenomena. Means indeed in inductive arguments we draw a conclusion on the basis of observation, so on the basis of generalization. So the conclusion of an inductive argument is not certain, they are probabilistic, the conclusion of an inductive argument is more or less probable because their conclusion is based on observation. So by nature, inductive arguments are such that premises can only provide partial probabilistic support to the conclusion. So see this point, in deductive argument, the premises provide partial or probabilistic support to the conclusion, not absolute or not conclusive support, but only partial or probabilistic support to the conclusion. So due to these, the conclusion of an inductive argument is not certain, they are probable. So an inductive argument in which the true premises gives good reason or support to the true conclusion but not absolutely guarantee to the true conclusion. Means in deductive argument, the premises absolutely guarantee, but in inductive argument, the premises gives good reason or support but not absolutely guarantee to the true conclusion. So these arguments are not certain. So the conclusion is not contained within the premises, it is always outside the premise base. In inductive arguments, the premises, the conclusion is not contained within the premises, it is always outside the premises because these arguments gives us new information, and this argument is also called bottom up approach. We move from conclusion to example or conclusion to premises. So the conclusion probably follow from the premises. So these arguments are inductive arguments are probabilistically strong or they are probabilistically weak. So these arguments are not certain, these arguments are only probable. So probabilistic is the attributes of these argument. Now we have example of an inductive argument. So this is example of an inductive argument. On the basis of these observations, we draw a conclusion, generalized conclusion. On the basis of crow 1 is black. So the first crow that you saw is black. Next day you also see another crow that too is black. So you are collecting evidences, and every day you see a crow that is black. Maybe it is the same crow, maybe it is not the same crow that you conclude. So on the basis of these crows, on the basis of this everyday observation, you draw a generalized conclusion. You draw the conclusion that all crows are black. So this is example of a deductive argument. So this is what we would an inductive argument. Note that this conclusion is not contained anywhere in the premises. It is something else, something outside the premise. All crows are black. That is generalization. But none that it is a good argument. In fact, this is on the basis of observation. This argument is we draw the conclusion on the basis of observation. So in fact, the more crows that you observe, if your observation base is very large, then the more support you will get. So if in inductive arguments our observation base is very large, then our conclusion is probabilistically strong. And if our observation base is not very large, then our conclusion is probabilistically weak, or our conclusion is more or less probable. If our conclusion, if our observation base is very large, then our conclusion is more probable. So Another example we have, for example, looks at the way, for example, inductive arguments like for year sun has been to rise in the morning. So we have seen many years then sun have been rise in the morning. This is an inductive base. Therefore, the sun will rise tomorrow. If you proceed towards the same conclusion inductively, what you will say that you will collect evidence that you have to see the sun to rise every day, every year, and so on so forth. And that is the inductive premise based or observation based. Tomorrow's sun is that part of your observation or your inductive premise based on this you know from which you are jumping to unknown. For from premises to conclusion, there is always a jump from known to unknown. In inductive argument, we move from known to unknown. So this is the example of an inductive argument. Now we have another example of an inductive argument. So premise 1 we have Socrates was Greek. Premise 2 most Greeks eat fish. Therefore Socrates ate fish. On the basis of most Greek we draw a generalized conclusion. So if even both the premises are true, it is still possible then the conclusion will be false because maybe Socrates was allergic to fish. So on the basis of particular fact, we draw a generalized conclusion. That conclusion is not certain. This conclusion is probabilistic. If our observation base is very large, then our conclusion is probabilistically strong. So these arguments are probable. Next, the words which tend to make an argument as inductive includes probably, likely, possibly, and reasonably. So, in inductive argument, they cannot provide certainty. So, inductive argument cannot provide a certain conclusion. They are probable, and then they give you new information. So, these are all about an inductive argument. So we also call inductive argument as bottom up logic because we move from conclusion to premises. We move from bottom to conclusion to premises, rule to example. So this is all about an inductive argument. So now I will discuss about the main differences between deductive and inductive arguments. What are the main differences between So we have discussed about argument and types of argument. There are two types of argument, deductive and inductive kinds of argument. So what are the main differences between deductive or inductive arguments, or what are the main properties of inductive and deductive argument? So deductive arguments are valid or invalid. Means if both the premises of a deductive argument is true, the conclusion must be true. So this is a valid deductive argument. So valid deductive arguments are sound or they may be unsound. Means valid and all premises are true. Invalid, all premises of an argument are true. So if both the premises of a deductive arguments are true, the conclusion must be true. It is also valid and sound. Or if the premises are conclusive support to its conclusion, it is a sound argument. And if the premises of a deductive argument fails to support conclusive support to its conclusion, which are unsound argument. Means when when the premises of a deductive arguments fail to support or fail to provide conclusive support, these arguments are called invalid or unsound argument. So these arguments are unsound. So if the premises and there is no consistency between premises and conclusion, so these arguments are invalid deductive argument or unsound argument. Next we have inductive argument. So inductive arguments are strong or weak argument. So strong arguments are cogent and uncogent. Cogent means strong. The arguments which are when the observation base is very large, then the inductive arguments is strong or they are cogent, strong and all premises are true. So an inductive argument, if all the premises are true and the observation base is very large, then the inductive argument is strong or they are cogent. And if uncogent or weak argument, and if the observation base is not very large and the premises are not all are true, so these arguments are uncogent or weak argument. So inductive arguments are probabilistically strong or they are probabilistically weak argument. So if the observation base is very large, that arguments are strong or cogent argument. And if the inductive argument, the premises or the observation base is not very large, that inductive arguments are called weak or uncogent argument. So this is all about deductive and inductive arguments. So these are the main differences between deductive and inductive arguments. So these are the references of our today's discussion. Thank you so much.